Wow, how I love that background music. That background music is perfect for this live stream. I lost my speaker. I don't know how I did that, but anyway, we're good to go. Let me kill this. All right. Dan is in the house, and you know what today is. Today is we're going to pick a winner. I think we're going to pick a winner chicken dinner for the Rename Dan's Channel contest. 5,000K is in play. 5,000K is in play. See that? Oh, folks, respect the money. Respect the money. Do not fold it. I'm going to iron these later. I'm going to iron it later. Don't devalue the peso by crumbling it up and rolling it in your pocket or down your sock or whatever you do in order to hide the money. You got to keep it like this, crispy. And you know the new plastic bills, once they come up, once they start coming out, those plastic ones, that make it very, very hard to, what do they call that? To print up fake bills, counterfeit, I guess they call them. They're not going to want you to fold them or to crease them because, did I say 500K? 5,000K? Yeah, 5,000K peso is going to be handed out to today's winner for renaming the channel. I kind of already made the selection. I'm just going to run it through my head a few more times, and then I'll announce the winner at the end of the show. It wasn't you, though, Nitban. I'm sorry to say. It wasn't you. So, Nitban, you are not the father. You are not the winner. Although you have come up with some pretty good names, Weren't you the one that came up with Dan in Charge, something like that? Idiot Dan the Magic Man. Oh, no. You're the one that came up with Living Large and Latte. No, maybe that was somebody else. No, you came up with, let's see, you came up with Dan's Mini Shorts, right? Get it? Dan's Mini Shorts. I worried about selecting that one, I'll tell you why. Because if you go with Dan's Mini Shorts, well then, what would that mean? How would I do a sticker for my channel on that one? How would it do it? It looks like Jack is in the background. I already put up oh, hey, what the F Mike is in the house. What the F Mike? What the F Mike? Let me see. Let me get my act together. Hey, I have stuff I want to talk about today, but I didn't write it down. So we're going off the cuff, because I didn't write it down on paper. I was so busy trying to figure out. By the way, you can't trick me. You can't add a comment later and say I did it because I wrote down everybody's information right here. See, so somebody is going to win today, but you're all winners in my mind. Mind, you're all winners. Let's see, if I could and I had the dough, I probably would just share it with all of you. Let's see, I got Larry's here. I got Jack is in the background. Let's see if Jack is still there. Uh-oh. I don't see Jack. Maybe Jack give up on me. All right, Jack, try it again. There he is. There he is. Jack's in the house. How's it going? Okay, I got Larry here. I got Crystal's. Mildred is here. Everybody's showing up because I want to see if they win the 100K. And by the way, this is a good time. It's a good time to have this kind of a sharing experience, a contest, if you will, because as you know, Jack, it's the beginning of Holy Week. Dangerous Dan's. Oh yeah, there you go. There was another channel name suggestion by Knitband. Hey, that's not a bad one. Dangerous Dan's Den. Exactly. I can be very dangerous. I've been told that I spit poison. I spit poison out of right through these lips right here. I spit fire is what Minnie says. Sometimes your words can kill. You have to stand out of my way when I'm getting ready to spew. You got to stand out of my way for sure. So anyway, what the F is here? Crystal's Adventure. Tim, I don't want to see Dan. What does he say? I don't want to see Dan wearing mini shorts. Yeah, that way. That's what I thought about. It was a brilliant channel name, but I know what will be coming next after that. Yeah, I definitely do. Thanks for sharing, Mildred. Welcome. Alien Cruise Official is here. Yeah. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about. Oh, well, I guess this is actually the second thing. Dan retired live in the Philippines. Oh, that's not bad. That's not a bad suggestion. Jack, how's life today, Jack?
Not too bad. I'm alive. I got a friend of mine here.
Yeah.
Yo.
Hey, how's it going? That's nice.
Bud?
You have friends.
Hey, now.
I wish I had a few friends. Menge is here. Menge, I did not know Mel. That was you. I had to send Mabel. Everybody, grab your libation, grab your drink, and let's sit down and have a chat. Jack's got his. Dan's got his.
Yep.
All right. So, Alien Cruise Official is here. I'm kind of waiting to see if Larry's gonna pop his head in here or not before I get started. I wanted your guys' opinion on something. Yeah. Pick a time. Uh-oh, I got one of those Windows update. I'm gonna snooze it or lose it. I hope it doesn't restart my computer. That is really irritating, when you get the pop-up message that says, we're going to restart your computer in 30 seconds. And then it gives you choices. Yes, no, sleep, schedule it for later. We're doing it anyway. It tells you whatever they're going to do there. All right. I see somebody. I see Larry. What's going on? Where's your hat, Larry?
I'm at my sister's.
That's right.
And I left it downstairs, and I don't want to run downstairs and get it.
All right, that's fair.
It would be the black one, not the other one, anyway.
Hey, I don't see that it's we're getting any glow off the top of your head or anything. The light is not reflecting off the top of that.
Like I said, I'm at my sister's house. This is one of her spare bedrooms. It's spare now because she used to have, she's got two sons, but they're in their 50s. And so they usually don't stay here. They got their own place. And now my one nephew, the younger one, he's here, but he's over in the other other room. I think that used to be his bedroom.
Hey, I don't know if you heard, but what the F Mike is.
I got my libation. I broke down about a Coke Zero.
Okay, so we all got our thing going on here.
Well, I don't have any tea here, and I prefer the tea, but I don't know
Tim says hi. Tim says hi, Jack.
People, I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be hard for me to answer any. I'm trying to get my phone to come up.
Yeah.
So I can talk in the chat with the people in the chat. But right now, the one phone wouldn't come up, so we got to try the other one.
Okay, take your time. No
pressure.
No,
I'm just saying I can't answer. If somebody asks me a question in the chat, I can't keyboard it in.
All right.
All right. This phone is working better than the other one.
The first thing I want to talk about, I don't know if it's important or not. So, things that caught my attention while we were in Cebu, and I had a few moments to fire up my phone and talk about what was going on in the universe. And so I saw that that somebody had posted disparaging comments about the Filipina P and Rebuti. Now, I found this to be really, really interesting. They were really challenging their looks by saying that there's no one in the house that I know of that would be interested in dating the Filipina P or Rebuti. We're not here for that. And I thought it was something like that. I'm kind of making it up as I go along, as I recall. Someone said there's an echo in the background. I'm not sure where that's coming from. I don't believe it's coming on from my end. But I got all kinds of weird stuff going on here, so maybe it could be. I don't have any of my other equipment directed towards the channel. Not where volume control is on anyway. So it must be one of you all.
I got my phone on mute.
Yeah.
I got my earplugs in on my computer, so
I think you're okay. Jack, I don't hear anything coming out of that. Sure you're not hearing things again there, Mike? Hey, so check this out. So they made some curt comments. Thank you, Mike. They made some curt comments about Rebuti and the Filipina P, and it made me feel kind of funny. I mean, folks are entitled to their opinion, Okay, so it came from a vlogger who well, we all know him for doing wild stuff on his YouTube channel, to get views. He deals with a lot of controversial stuff in terms of how to pick up women and how to get them into bed really quickly and things like that. So it would be easy to figure out who that channel name belongs to, but I think I'm getting out of the business of naming the channels nowadays because I got called a troll by somebody.
Well,
what are you trolling now, Dan? You're trolling?
Not me.
I'll be honest with you. The guy you're
lie
talking
to me,
about,
Larry. Please lie to me.
I always do when I tell you I'm going to be honest. Come on. I don't think I know who you're talking about.
No, don't reveal it. No, you probably do, but don't reveal it. Because I kind of think here that everybody is entitled to their opinion. Cali King's in the house, 916. Go Kings. And so the whole thing is that I'm just thinking to myself, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Now, I mean, when you first of all, you can't really compare Rebuti to the Filipina P because they're so different in personality and appearance. So I mean, that's kind of like okay, you're not attracted to the P, you're not attracted to her beauty. I mean, that kind of really well, there's a lot of looks and personalities in between those two goalposts, if you will. And so, I mean, yeah. But I didn't find the comments to be out of line or disparaging. I think that it just caught the P and Rebuti by surprise. So it looks like the Filipina P pretty much ignored it because you have to consider the source. Where Rebuti, and by the way, I need to declare that I am a channel member of Rebuti, and I'm not a channel member of the Filipina P.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't mean that I don't enjoy watching.
I watch Rebuti. I'm just not a channel member.
I watch it all the time to get ideas,
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about one of those ideas in a second here.
I'm going to drop a hint here. I haven't said what my.
Jack's disappearing into the CR. That means we're going to hear the toilet flushing any second. How dare you says what the F, Mike?
On my live stream Saturday, somebody tried to scam me this week. Here in the States. It was not a female. It was not one of these, oh, sir, I need money. Can you help? Or somebody's sick. But we'll talk about that on my live stream on Saturday.
All right.
I've been dealing with that all day today and yesterday mostly. Today, very little.
Eddie's in the house. Eddie. Hey, Eddie, are you suffering from leaving the Philippines depression that people get after they return back to the States? Are you suffering from that, Eddie? Are you doing okay? You doing okay in your recovery program? Hey, that always happened to me. Whenever I returned back, from spending a few weeks in the Philippines, I always went through this period of letdown, like, oh, back to the United States, got to deal with a bunch of ridiculous crap now, got to work 6 months, the first 6 months of the year in order to pay my taxes. I started thinking about all this stuff. Wish I wasn't here. Hey, speaking of taxes, I file mine, but I'm going to wait until April Fool's Day. So I owe money. A lot of people would wait till the end of the month, but till the very last day, because when you owe money, you don't want to file before whatever it is. The cutoff date's the 18th. I owe
on these two properties. It only costed $1,000 for taxes for 10 years. 10 years.
Oh. I have to pay $2.3K, and so that'll be no fun. But next year, it'll be all over with. This is that transitional year into retirement.
This is 6 houses here.
It's a what? Say it again.
6 houses.
Oh, I see. Hey, look who stepped in, or look who stepped in it. Every man repeats a story. CEO of the Thornton Cruise Company is in the house, sipping coffee from his luxury oceanfront villa. Do they say villa or do they say villa, like in Pancho Villa? See, I don't even know. I'm not quite that rich yet. But we know Tim is. Tim had to go brag about how he'll owe $15K in taxes next year. So we know Tim had a windfall payoff. He shared with us where it came from. Congratulations to Tim. Now you won't have any problem keeping yourself happy. Not that you already weren't happy, but in Pampanga. Oh, somebody in the BG. Oh, there he is.
Hey, Eddie.
Regular guy here in New Mexico.
Oh, yeah. Are you suffering from the letdown?
How you doing, Eddie?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Not bad, not bad.
So you getting ready to? Did you already file your income tax return?
No.
I haven't done mine either.
Do you owe money? Do you
I
owe
owe
money?
money. Yes. I filed an extension.
Ah, good for you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
good
know
for
yet.
you.
I haven't even filled mine out. I usually have them filled out,
Takes a little time
sent in, and
figure
always
out
here. I've been
that Schedule C, doesn't it, Eddie? It takes a little while to figure all that stuff out. Do you do your
Yeah.
taxes on your own? You got somebody
No,
doing it for you.
I have a CPA because I have a business, so he just does everything for me.
He does everything. So
Yeah.
he just, what's really going on, Eddie, with taxes. When you have an accountant or a CPA, they keep track of everything all year. They're just making entries, and then they just push a button, and then there's the entire tax return already all ready to go, and then they charge you incredible amounts of money for doing that.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a lot of things he saved me on, I gotta say.
He found the loopholes, huh?
Yeah, he saved me on when it comes to sales tax because I do a lot of I'm not the end of sale per se, so someone else has to pay that sales tax, not me.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Good for
so
you. Because a lot of people don't know how taxes work in the US of A, but I'll give you a hint of what happened to me years ago. So, Eddie, I don't know if you remember this, or Larry, but in the States, you guys know how rent to own was a big deal at one time.
yeah, big
Right? So
scam deal.
you'd buy some investment property, and then you'd flip it. You think you were flipping it and getting away with something because you would sell it back and make all the interest money on rent to own. You'd make all this money in profit. So Dan tries this one time, right? Dan is listening to these idiots on TV, and I buy one of their courses, and I go out and I find my first house to buy, and so everything goes really, really smoothly. I buy the first house, no money down. I'm thinking this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and then I'm going to flip it. I'm going to turn around. And I'm going to rent to own it. I'm going to rent it out to somebody. And I get all my paperwork in order, and I see how everything is going to go. Get a good sales price. Get everything that I want out of this deal. Get somebody to rent it to own. They were thrilled. Nice couple. All of a sudden, 6 or 8 months later, I get this letter from the Internal Revenue Service. It says you owe $1 bazillion in taxes. And I go, huh? So I call them up. And I say, what are you talking about? Well, you sold this home. You have to pay capital gains on it.
Oh,
And I go, no. I'm renting. I bought it, and now I'm rent. The couple in there, nice couple, lovely couple. They're renting to own it. They said we consider that to be a sale, and so you have to pay capital gains. I said, no. I said, I don't have to pay it right now. I pay it when you consummate the sale. No, sir, you don't understand. You consummated the sale. Once you agreed in a contractual agreement to sell it, even though it's rent to own, it just means they're paying the payments to you. You have to pay the capital gains on the property. This is where having a CPA or an accountant comes in handy, Eddie. It comes in real handy, because they would have told me to do that. And so after a few thousand letters go out to people, the whole rent to own thing dies, because now everybody knows how it works. The way you have to do it, and it still is not the right way, is you hide the sale part of the agreement in the file. You hide it. You have to have a side letter that says if you do this, and the IRS still doesn't like that idea. So anyway, Dan got out of the rent to own business. Yeah, you have something. Jack, what's up?
Dan and everybody in the chat here, I gotta go.
Yes.
I gotta take a nap.
Man, thanks for so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
Take care. Good night.
Kind of miss you in the other live. My view count went down because you weren't in the live last week, Jack.
Oh man.
Yeah, my view count went down, but that's okay, man. I appreciate you, brother, for coming in. You have a great day. Have a great
We
day.
get up again next time.
All right. Take care.
So I have another interesting tax
You better, Jack.
thing that happened to me. I was doing 1099 since 2012,
Yeah.
and so I would get the CRS number, and once again that company would pay the tax, not me, because we were doing business, but they would pay the tax. So I had that CRS certificate.
Yeah.
Well, so let's see, 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 6 years go by. And I don't do work for that company because that company went out of business. And they come looking for me, the IRS, telling me I owe them this amount of money 6 years later.
I believe it. I believe the story. Of
And
course. Because
you know what he said? The guy said, well, if you have your certificate that shows, he goes, not a problem. I looked for that thing and it was right where I left it. And I said, thank God this thing is staying with me for life. It'll come back at me.
I know.
And
I
I
know what you mean.
I emailed it to him and he says, okay, no problem.
And that was it.
That was it.
You got out of it because you were good. That's we could all learn from that experience. We've all had similar experiences where, this tax return, doing this tax return was absolutely a nightmare for me. It was a nightmare.
Well,
because,
this is not. When you get done, I'll talk.
Because I had this headache, so I like to play around in the cryptocurrency, buy, sell, and trade. Right.
Yeah.
This is complicated because you have to pay capital gains on your profits.
Yes.
Right. And so, listen, I know a lot of you may have. I know that every man repeats a story. Is probably in the crypto business. He seems like the perfect kind.
Man, you froze up for a moment.
Say it again.
You froze up. I didn't hear what you said. You were frozen.
Oh no, like this?
Well, not quite like that, but you were frozen in one spot.
It wasn't frozen on my side, but you know what, Dan? You probably got if you had a house in Sacramento when you sold it, you probably had capital gains on that one as well.
No, because I lived there for a long time.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can sell a house that you owned for over 5 years, I think, that you lived in, and not have to pay capital gains on it.
I know that.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
They were selling houses at a lower price to people for first-time home buyers, but they had to live in it for over 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
This was a few years back because I worked with a guy. He was contemplating on buying one, and he was also thinking about moving. So he had to decide: do I buy one because I got to live there for 5 years, or do I just say the heck with it and move? He ended up moving. So I don't blame him.
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah. So there's that 5-year rule, and so so the house that we sold prior to moving here, we owned it for a long time, and we were living there.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It was our primary residence.
Yeah, that saves you capital gains, or at least a lot of it.
Oh, the capital gains would have been crazy on that thing.
Well,
yeah.
The guy I was working with was a civil engineer. He used to go around for this one company and inspect bridges. Well, they lost a contract, so he lost a job. So he was working with us as a security guard, and he couldn't find a job as a civil engineer anywhere near us. The only job he could find was down around in New Jersey, right outside of Philly. And he had relatives down there, and he was dating this girl. So she said she didn't want to get married. So he said, I'm going to go back and work what I'm working and forget this other, and left, which I don't blame him. Because he was trying to figure out. I said, well, talk to her. I said, if she doesn't want to go farther, do more than what you're doing. Because he really liked the girl, but he wanted to move forward into a permanent relationship.
You guys see Mike's comment here. Mike is saying that, he understands. Yeah, believe me, we all don't understand how this whole tax thing works, Mike. We really don't. Oh, I wanted to finish my thought about the Filipina P. So, Larry, you probably have figured out who was making those disparaging comments. I certainly wasn't going to get into the foray. I wasn't going to.
I'm going to tell you, I really don't know. I really don't know who it is.
Yeah.
The people I watched, nobody was doing that. So
well, you wouldn't be watching his channel. You ain't that kind of personality.
That's what I said. So I'm not sure, because there's a couple of them that are real jerks.
Right. He's a real jerk. He goes in real jerk category.
Just a couple?
Yeah. Well,
there's a couple that I know of, and I just avoid them.
He goes for the lowest hanging fruit all the time. You know, he
would
kind of reminds me.
Would that be the Mike that spells his name different?
Oh God! I told you not to say it.
I knew that's who you were talking about. Yeah, I knew that's who you were talking about.
I've never watched.
He does bash.
Larry,
I've never watched.
You know what's going to happen to me? You know what's going to happen to me now? People are going to say you're one of those guys, Dan.
No, I'll be the troll, not you, because I'm the one.
They'll say, "Oh, Dan, so you let people on your show that troll other channels?"
Well, I guessed it the wrong person then, because I thought it was regular guy.
He's another jerk.
Yeah, they're buds. They're buddies.
Nip Band come up with it.
He's
you need to live in the house.
Regular guys, big time in the passport bro movement.
There you go. You have no tax up to 250 capital gain. So if you went over 251,000, you're going to pay capital gains on that $1,000. That's pretty much how it works.
Yeah.
The crypto, I have no desire to get into that. If I can't
live, Larry, live. You know what I mean?
I am living. That's why I'm not getting into crypto.
It's like going to the
when the best investor of all time says, "Don't touch it," it's based on nothing. I think I'll stay away from it.
Of course, Leonard, that's what attracts me to it. What attracts me to it is it's like a pyramid scheme. I love it. Hey, I remember guys trying this. Eddie, let me talk to you because I think you probably know something about this. I'm just guessing. Probably it's not because you were doing it, but check this out. Do you remember when people were doing it's very similar to the house thing. Do you remember when people were saying take over your car? They were putting cars up on the car website saying take over payments on the car.
Oh yeah.
You remember that? You remember that?
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed. It's
no
in the contract. You can't reassign somebody
right
the payments on the vehicle. But yet people did it, and it created a nightmare for the finance companies.
Yeah, you're still responsible for it.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what? It's kind of different with the real estate contract, though.
Well,
and the real estate contract.
The idea from.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there are ways to assume a real estate contract.
Yeah.
And you can actually do it with a car, but you have to do it through who holds the paper on it.
Right. You can't assign it to somebody. You don't have the right to assign it.
No, you have to.
You don't have the right to assign
it with the finance company.
Here's my whole point. I love schemes like that. I love it. I'm going, even though I knew, this can't be legal, but I was thinking to myself, hey, wait a minute. That's somebody thinking outside the box. And that's what I was impressed with. I was impressed with the idea that somebody sat back and they said, listen, how do I make $1 million overnight? I know. I'll be a broker and I'll get a whole bunch of people that are behind on their car payments, charge them a fee for handling their account, and then I'll reassign the notes. And I'll take the in-between money and I'll end up getting rich.
Would have worked.
And then they disappear, of course, after 6 or 8 months.
Yeah.
When the banks inform
how
the
are you?
original.
Mingay, Mildred.
I said earlier to Mingay that I didn't know that was Mel, even though her picture was right there. Yeah,
I like the good happy ending stories on YouTube. Like, for example, I don't know if you watched Mr. Brown's story that he gave. I think he was sitting down with somebody and they asked him, what is your favorite memory of all time living in the Philippines?
Oh, that was him and Paul.
Oh,
Old dog, new tricks.
Yep.
No,
Yeah,
I
I saw
froze
that
up.
one. Yeah, you
I
did.
didn't see
so-
that one.
I, it's amazing, Eddie. You bring it up because I got emotionally wrapped up in the story, and a lot of people did. A lot of people did, Eddie, because they go, Bud, please. They're like, Bud, please don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, don't go. You're making a mistake going to Mexico.
Well,
So Eddie, let me ask you a
Can't blame
question.
Bud, though.
Do you think that he's making a mistake going to Mexico?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't
think
think
Mexico
folks.
is any place I want to
Eddie
be
and
now.
I, we be knowing. The
Why is
future.
he? Why did I didn't get? Why does he want to go? What's his reason?
His kids live in San Diego, and his grandkids. They want to be closer to his grandkids.
It's a great reason,
Right.
but do I think that he's going to end up in Mexico? No. Where do I
What
think?
No,
part?
I think
You're
he'll
thinking
go
about Baja,
down and look it
California.
over.
I
think
assume
he'll
he
go
would be
down
by a
and look it
border.
over.
Well,
I assume he's going to be by a border state.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if he
And
if he
still-
is,
He's gonna
be
that's
close-
the
Still
worst
close to
place
San
be.
Diego.
Yeah, it's not.
Well-
It's not safe.
It's
Well,
not safe.
nope.
It's
And
not
him and his
safe,
wife-
and the real estate market there's going crazy. And all
well,
he's
him and his
doing
wife
is
lived in
going.
Mexico before.
He's going from the
Right,
United
they
States to the United States.
Pretty
Yeah.
Aren't
much.
you getting? Is anybody getting this? That all he's doing is moving back to the U.S. Because the three top countries, right, where they have the 1%ers, the three top countries are who? The United States,
China and Russia.
Mexico, and who's the third? The United States, Mexico, and somebody Google it.
Canada. Canada?
Canada is a good guess. They would be in the top 10, but I don't believe they're number 3. So here's the trick question. It's the United States. We're talking the 1%ers that own 40+% of the wealth.
I'm with what you said earlier, Eddie. Russia.
That might be true
They're
because
rich controllers.
Russia's
They're rich
oligarchs are
controllers.
so filthy rich, and
Eddie,
it's just
let me
the
ask you a
people that
question.
aren't.
I got to ask Eddie a question. When was the last time you were in one of the border towns?
Oh, my gosh. I was in LA. You know, I mean, I didn't go to Tijuana, but I was in LA just, this year.
You know why you should have
Yeah,
gone
LA
to
don't
Tijuana?
count.
Because
My dad wanted me to go
Yes.
because I have property down there. And I said, no, I don't want to go right now. I said, it's not good to go. He wanted me to go. My dad's ruthless. He's like, I don't care. Let's go. I said, no, I don't feel like going.
Oh, that sounds like my dad when he was alive. Hey, Eddie, I'm going to tell you. You know what's going on
Tim,
there?
he's
You know
supposed to
what
be.
we see?
He's already picked the date to leave. It's in April.
Eddie,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you see when you cross over the border, and you see it coming before you even cross the border. You see San Diego South.
Yeah.
That is no lie, brother. Things have changed in the last 5 years. You see
Yeah, I would
high-rise
say that.
condominium
and
projects
he's been away for
going up
12.
everywhere. Luxury condominiums. Minnie and I went, and we looked at some. Guess what we found? $1,000 per month rents.
Yeah,
Oh.
Well, like I said, he may just go back there and find out he doesn't like it and go back to the Philippines.
Well,
Yeah,
At least
I
he'll
don't
get
know.
to see his family and kids.
he has left that as an option.
Yeah, they left that as an option, but they're they sold their truck, or they're not truck, they're
Tuck
Blue
tuck.
Boy tuk-tuk.
Blue
Blue
Boy, yeah.
And I like that. I should have been paying attention. I would have run down there and bought it.
I'm thinking I might be looking at something like that when I get over there because I can drive that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be something of interest. That or a what they call a multi-cab.
Multi-cab.
Multi-cab is
Yeah.
good.
I'm not critiquing, him wanting to be with his kids. That's not what this is about. Of course,
It's about his safety.
Yeah,
Well,
what I would
safety.
be doing is I'd be squaring my plans away, and that would be that he probably can live cheaper and be happier if he just rents or adds on to his kid's house, which is what a lot of my friends are doing. You know, they're doing that.
Well, you never know what. Like I said, he did say an option was to come back to the Philippines. At one time, he said that he's supposed to be going sometime in April. I don't remember the exact date. He did finally.
I can't remember the date, but I think it was like the second week.
Yeah, somewhere in the second week.
Were they selling the house there in the Philippines, or are they keeping
it? They don't
No,
own it. They were renting.
They just
they're renting.
Yeah, so they don't own it. So, yeah, they could buy one because his wife's Philippines.
I'm going to share with you. I meant to share this with you.
It seems like a long time.
Yeah,
it seems like a good spot to
they met,
inject
what
this.
Was it, 70, 69, 70, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I know they've been married a long time.
We rented, Eddie, I don't know if you know this or not, man, Minnie and I, we rented an apartment in Cebu.
No.
You know,
they're going to sublet it to me when they're not there when I come over.
So, well, sublet, you know, I mean, it's so inexpensive. I pay the rent while you're gone. Expensive. There wouldn't be a need to sublet it to anybody. Just leave it vacant. But here's the interesting thing. So I started going up there. It's going to sound really weird. I realize this right when I say this, but since y'all are planning on moving over there, you know, it's very difficult. When I started doing my budget and things like that, people were saying, "Hey, Dan, what are you going over there renting a place in Cebu when you and Man Minnie already own a house in the province?" But the truth of the matter is that it's a little bit more difficult if your plan is island hopping. It's a little bit challenging. You have to learn the system of things. You have to learn how the fast ferries work. You have to allow for time.
Cebu is really centrally located.
Yeah, it's centrally located. It's right across the bridge from Mactan Airport. So we rented in Lahug. You know, the affordable side of IT Park. So the whole plan is to use that as Leonard pointed out, as the stopping off place. You know, because hotels they're crazy expensive right now.
Yeah.
For the same quality, if you're going to go out and rent a hotel room and you want all the amenities that this place offers, you're going to be paying $75 or $100 per night.
Yep.
An entire month's rent here in this place is $250.
Yeah.
Including the Wi-Fi, including the cable television. You know, so we thought, well, we'll give it a go for 6 months to see how it works out, because we're going to be island hopping a little bit in the Philippines. But then I wake up this morning, because I get most of my best ideas actually come from a good night's sleep. So I wake up this morning, I go, hey, wait a minute. I said, we're going to be going to the north. I go, why don't we think about purchasing a house somewhere in the Metro Manila area? I started seeding this, Eddie, with Man Mini. I started planting the seed. And then we got the south. Then we got the south and the north covered. And I started penciling this out. I mean,
so let me say this then. That sounds like a good idea, but when you're not in Manila, you could probably do it as a Airbnb when you're not there, right? Because you can put dates that you're not going to be there and rent it out.
That's what I said. When I move over, he's going to sublet it to me while he's gone till I find my place.
Yeah, but he's going to have to kick you out, Larry. I don't think he wants to do that.
I said, why I'm looking for my place.
The Airbnb thing, it gets complicated because I checked out. I'm a tiny step ahead of you, Eddie. So just a half step. So I went in there and I started looking at vacancy rates, and as I predicted, the vacancy rates are rising.
Is that right?
Wow. Yes, and so they only have they're only occupied right now 59% of the time.
Oh wow.
It's a good.
And so there's a lot of discounting going on Airbnb right now coming to the Philippines, even though tourism is strong. And what happened was increased supply.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
what happened.
there's a lot of talk right now with the opening of these bases. I've been watching a lot that the U.S. is already. I mean, they're ramping up, moving in over there, and you know,
Yeah.
there may be a lot of Americans moving around over there, needing a place or something. Who knows?
Yeah, but they're
As
only going
Tim
to be
pointed
around where the
out
bases are at, which is not
on
going
the
to be in
on the
like
last live.
Cebu or Dumaguete or Cavite.
But some may have a leave and want to go somewhere though.
Yeah,
Right.
but I'm just saying though, as
18,000
far
troops
as
yeah.
a
on the
permanent
way,
apartment,
according to Tim.
Yeah.
18,000 troops on the way. They are on the way now.
I still think
I
it's a good
imagine some
idea
are
though,
already
Dan.
here.
I mean, I still think it's a good idea to at least, you know, it's better than it just sitting there when you're not occupying it. It's still put it for Airbnb, you know. Can't go
Right.
wrong.
Yeah.
But you know, there's no shortage of relatives, Eddie.
I don't know. Yeah, but they don't pay very well. They don't pay very well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, but I
but
figured
wouldn't
like
you have
this.
to
I have
claim
all
that as
this cash
income on
sitting
your
in the bank.
taxes?
What's
I don't know if I would tell my relatives.
I said,
Cash
you have to-
sitting in the
I
bank.
said if you rented it out as an Airbnb, wouldn't you have to pay taxes on that?
I don't know. I don't even. I didn't
I'm
get
just
that
saying
far.
that would
Just
that
looked
be
at
another
vacancy
layer of
rate.
headaches for your taxes.
Yeah, the whole idea. It is one that I would buy into. I think Eddie has probably figured out my personality because I like this. I like this idea. But I have to think it through. I have to look at all the angles. But
You could put it. You could put it under your wife's name, you know. And I don't know what the
yeah, that's
taxes
what I
are.
would do. That's what I
Yeah,
would do.
yeah.
The whole thing is that am I better off buying a house, another house in the north, in the northern part, Manila suburb like Pasay or Cavite or something. Trace Mark, wherever Steve lives, that would be nice to go over and bug
Tracy
Steve every day.
Marquez, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be an irritation to Steve every day, I'm sure. But
That's a bonus.
but it's better.
Yeah.
I think it's better than having cash sit in the bank, just collecting dust. So,
And if you bought the place, you're saving rent. You know, so you got to look at that as well.
So we'll be thinking about that. The prices are still too high because people haven't realized that there's a global recession coming. But once they start realize this, for example, I tried to negotiate on this apartment. I said, and I asked them very pointed questions. Said, how many apartments do you have available? How many apartments are here on this? They said 21. I said, how many are available? 11. And then you could hear crickets. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? You have to reduce the price of the apartment.
Especially in that location.
Yeah. You have to reduce what you're charging. And they said it is,
So you know what? I'm going to be in the same boat as you, Dan, when I get there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be actually, my wife, she paid off her house there, and driving around the neighborhood, I'm already looking at what's for sale in the area.
Yeah.
And her area, there's a house there. I would say her house is probably around the 10 million peso, about a $200,000 house in there. And in my house, when I sell my house, I'll have about $200,000 here in my equity. And so I'm planning to, of course, give my kids their inheritance from my 401k and so forth. But, I told my wife, I said, why don't we fix this house up, rent it, and I like Desmareñas. I don't know if you've been there yet, like towards the Gate. Oh, there's so less traffic there. It is so peaceful. I know I didn't get to stop by there, but I thought we need to go look at that area. I told her, and let's think about moving because we're too close to each other. The houses there, They're right next to each other, and I don't like that. And
Mhm.
where there's no room to garden, we like to garden, grow things, So I'm talking about that. I got to convince you though, because she doesn't like moving.
Yeah, one thing about this lot here that we have, it's very, very tight, and you could just see a lot of the lots here in Bye City, even though it's a provincial city, it's being bought up like crazy from Westerners. I mean, the lots are owned by. I have neighbors. Hey, by the way, Eddie, why do Westerners come over here and build palaces? I just don't get it.
I don't know. I don't
You
know.
leave the states. You leave your palace in the states, and then because you want to do away with all the stress and all the things that come with living in America, and they come over to the Philippines. Some, not obviously, I didn't do it, but you have people coming over here and they build mansions, and the next thing you hear is they're selling them because they can't afford to keep them up.
They can't afford to keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, they can't afford to keep it, and I find that to be fascinating.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't go beyond my means. That's for sure.
I
Yeah.
could rent a room on one of Mr. Thornton's yachts, and I could travel. And then Minnie and I can travel around the world, and we could get free health care, and it could be worth it. It could be
Yep.
worth it. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you saw what Ann said, Crystal Adventure. She said buy a
Yeah.
house near her, and you and Man Mimi can have donuts daily.
Well, everybody here probably knows by now that I love Pangasinan, especially since they have a Starbucks. So right there,
Is that where Ann's at?
that's where Annie's at. So I have a question for her, right? So one time I'm headed through there. Well, we were headed straight for Pangasinan because we were spending a few nights there because we were headed to Baguio City, and I have to gear up. Whenever I go north in the mountains, I usually have to gear up mentally for the experience. In other words, I have to get my mind used to going through those crazy turns and having two wheels hanging off the cliffs.
Oh no.
That
I
usually,
don't know if I could do
that
that.
usually takes
Sounds
me
like my
a
home area.
day or two to get used to that idea. So the stop off point is Pangasinan. So we were there. So as we were coming through on this bus that had these wooden bench seats, and I'm going for miles, 2 hours like this, and it is killing me. But when we come off the main highway, the national highway, there was a turnoff heading for the 100 Islands, heading for Pangasinan and all that area. Well, I notice over to my right. I look over to my right, and I swear that I was having hallucinations, because I could have swore that as this thing's making this turn and I'm waking up from a groggy sleep, I see what looks like to be the clock tower from Back to the Future.
Huh.
So Eddie, I'm not kidding you. This is a true story. So I look over to my right, and I'm waking up Man Minnie, and I'm pointing. Do you see what I'm seeing? Do you see what I'm? And my wife is like, don't wake me up. I'm sleeping here. She didn't want anything to do with it. But is that? And I'm pointing. And I'm saying that looks like a movie set. That looks like the Back to the Future movie set. And I could see Doc there, and I could see everybody's there. I could see. And I'm thinking I'm hallucinating. So I'm telling this story in Sacramento one day. I'm telling it just the same way I'm telling it to you. And then someone just starts laughing. Dan, you weren't hallucinating. That strip mall actually exists at that turnoff point.
No.
There's a Starbucks there and everything now. So I learned from my friend. We went right by it. We just, for some reason, it was not a bus stop. It was not a rest stop. We had stopped at the old gas station, one exit before. Why weren't they taking us there? And a friend of mine says, well, it's because they don't get paid for stopping there. They get paid for
So
Yeah, the
So
old CR, the old broken down gas station. There's somebody there paying them so
you
that they can.
mentioned the windy road. Was
Yeah,
there a rail guard there?
there was
Or
no
guard?
rail guard. Obviously
Oh
not.
my gosh.
Obviously
I
not.
seen
No.
a video and it
Yeah,
was from the Philippines
yeah.
and it was the scariest thing I've ever seen. And I thought, these people are crazy to drive on this road up against this mountain.
I
And,
know it. They're
and,
crazy. Not only that, they pass on those roads. They
yes.
pass.
Yeah.
That
And
scares the crap
Hey,
out of
Eddie,
me.
now, have you been to
you can have
Baguio? Have you been to Baguio?
Yes, and that's what I'm talking about. And so I tell people that are going there. I say, okay, you do know that there's only one way up there and one way out. You do know that they had a devastating earthquake back in the day that there's still remnants of, you
Oh
know,
my God.
and there's no way to get down off of that mountain.
I don't care
Yeah,
how good the strawberries are there. I'm not interested, to be honest.
that's what I'm
Well,
saying, brother.
hey, Eddie,
That's what,
you can have the same. You can have the same experience in North Idaho and far western Montana.
well, I've led a sheltered life for sure.
Yep. I mean,
I
that's
won't be in
where I
those
grew up.
areas.
Yeah.
That's
So,
where I grew up.
but
So I
it's
can
a
speak
must.
from
It's a must
experience.
do. That if you go to Pangasinan, which I plan on going within the next couple of months, you must go to Baguio.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, you need to take some video of that cliff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Angelica, do well in school today. Don't be late.
Yeah, right. Don't be late.
Do not be late.
Nope.
All right. So anyway, I don't know if Annie's been listening or not. If Crystal's been listening, Crystals, can you verify that strip mall or shopping center exists? Can you verify whether you have a Starbucks and a Dunkin' Donuts and a McDonald's all within driving distance? Because was I dreaming? Was I having some kind of a hallucination or a nightmare when I saw that clock tower? I need to know, because all my friends who were with me, they were all sleeping on that bus. They were all sleeping. I couldn't wake anybody up. I was so excited, pointing my finger, saying, "Hey, that's a," and I was so excited I couldn't even get the words out. But my friend in Sacramento says, "It's there, Dan. You weren't hallucinating." So, okay. McDonald's is open soon in Bye Bye City. Yes, it's going to be. So here's the thing, Des. Here's the thing. I talked to the planning. I went down. I talked to the planning office. Yes, that's how nosy I am about things. And I checked out. I checked out where they want to put this McDonald's, because McDonald's is in there negotiating for several properties. And they told me, they were very open about it. They said one of them is by the church, because they know that the kids are going to flock to the McDonald's if they allow them to build it, right there in the town center. And I couldn't believe it when I heard this, that they actually want to take a historical site and then build a McDonald's on it. So, but a few countries, allow this. A few places around the world allow this. Oh, wait, here's Crystal's chiming in. We have, Sir Dan, in the city, we have SM here, Urdaneta City, 30-minute drive from my home. So there you have it. There was no mall there the last time I was there. And now Crystals is saying there's SM Mall there that has everything you need in there. So LV Rose is in the background.
Hey, Melanie.
So anyway, here's what's happening in the Philippines. So I looked at what's happening through 2040. What are the predictions for growth? And the population is predicted to increase from 103 million to 150 million. Oh, Tim, fact check me on this, brother. Don't leave me hanging. Fact check me on it. It's going to increase to somewhere around 150 million, and there's no place for people to go except up. So in the stuff that I was reading, it's basically saying that what's going to happen is that they're going to go condominium crazy by building skyscrapers and building office buildings that go straight up. And it's going to look a lot like Singapore. That's what the predictions are like through 2040. Now, I most likely won't be around to enjoy all that. And I said, so my question was, even in the provincial areas, and they said yes. There's no place to build except up. And that's why you see all the improvements going in now, all the infrastructure improvements, all the seawalls, all the bay walks. They have a plan. And the mayors have been tasked, and the governors of these areas have been tasked with putting in this infrastructure in preparation for this tremendous, ginormous, if you will, population explosion that's going to be happening in the Philippines. It's going to be way high in the list as being one of the major economic hubs of Asia. So there. Is it going to happen? Does Dan believe it's going to happen? Yes, I do. But except for one thing. Will the population bomb actually occur? Will this event actually occur? That's the question. And Dan says, in the world according to Dan, no, it will not. Because you're already starting to see a population flatline that's starting to occur right here in the Philippines. Population is starting to flatline. And you know what's going on in the States and Japan and Europe and Russia and other places around the world are starting to realize a population decline for obvious reasons. People sit down there and they're starting to think about, oh, be careful with that knife, brother. Yeah, you're scaring me. I hope I didn't say anything to offend you, Eddie.
Welcome to my cooking show, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So population decline is in our future. The predictions that I saw from World Health and all these think tank websites are saying,
take care, everyman.
We're going to peak at 9 billion
later,
and then people are going to start dying off in huge numbers, and we will achieve shortly thereafter global population of 6 billion.
Well, I think that's part of what they're doing is population control.
I encourage you, CEO Thornton Cruise Lines, I encourage you to make San Diego one of your ports of call. I'll be there. If you make San Diego one of your ports of call.
I think he still needs a ship.
Oh, he still needs a ship. Yeah, but listen, all that is in the works. All that is in the works. So it's going to happen. Yeah, I don't want to live in a high-rise building. The danger of earthquake is too risky for me.
Oh, yeah, no, heck no. I don't want that either.
No,
and they're building a bunch in the Philippines.
Right, and also one more thing. Yes, everyman, who are you going to interview today? Knit Band wants to know. We all want to know. Give it up. Oh yeah, climate change. And so they're pushing this. They're pushing this news out in the Philippines. Drought coming to a Philippine island near you. So sink a well.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, sink a well. Of course, it's very difficult to believe, especially last night when we were getting hammered with hot weather. I mean, the sun was beating down so hard, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the clouds formed and it poured like crazy for 15 minutes.
I got a little bit with my drive here from my house to my sister's. I started off overcast, drizzle, heavy rain, back to drizzle, snow, back to rain, and then back to overcast.
You got the whole package.
No, the
You got
only thing
the
I
whole
didn't get
package.
was bright sunny. Bright and sunny is
Yep.
the only thing I didn't get.
Yep.
Why aren't we
Yeah.
living underground? That's one thing I just don't understand. All right, I'm okay. I'm cool with understanding how buildings rise into the sky, but I don't get why we're not going underground also. Why can't we go down 3 or 4 or 5 stories? It would be awfully cool down there. You wouldn't need air
Yep.
conditioning.
Well,
I just
right.
don't get why we can't go
And the snow wouldn't
down.
bother you.
Yeah, why
Only if
have
you're a
full heat.
prepper. Only if
What?
you're a prepper.
Well,
Yeah.
you could live in the side of a mountain. You could live in an old missile silo.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
those.
Yeah. I hope they aren't targeting some of the old missile silos. Oops. Oops, incoming. Oops. They forgot to take this off their targeting map. Direct hit right into the
Oops.
ICBM. On
That's
the old
probably the only
ICBM
ones that know
silo.
where they are.
Yeah.
oh,
The
you know
Philippines
about
does
that
have a
spy
drinking
balloon
water
that flew
shortage
over
now.
the
Yeah.
United States for 7 days?
Guys, water is going to become the new gold. By the way, I just want to share with
Yep.
everybody, I'm not a prepper. Don't plan on becoming one. But I did recently purchase some silver. And so I just thought that this was a good idea. So I bought some silver just because everybody else is doing it.
And way too
Silver's
high a
good.
price.
Yeah, so I got the maple leaf. I got the 1 ounce 999 fine maple leaf, and that's being stored. Well, oh, wait. I almost did it again. I cannot reveal where the silver is being stored. But
In an underground bunker near you.
yeah, it's in a very, very safe place, not under my mattress.
So
It's
it's
not
under
where it's not
an
where I keep
underground
the money.
bunker.
Yeah, it's not where I
Underground
keep
bunker.
all my riches. Yeah. California has water's plentiful now. Water rush. Yeah, flooding is coming. Once all that water melts, there's no place to put it, and there will be flushing. Listen, Sacramento has a lot of complicated issues, and this is one of the reasons why we need to get out of there. Is because all this stuff is happening in our lifetime. A lot of people don't know that they flush out the river using the Oroville Dam, and it comes all the way down into the estuaries and pushes the salinity in the water in order to protect the fish right out into the ocean. So they use Oroville Dam and other dams just like a gigantic toilet. So when salinity encroachment occurs, when the salinity level rises, they release a whole bunch of water down the American and Sacramento rivers because they have to flush out the estuaries in order to protect the freshwater fish of the delta and the very fragile nature of the environment in the delta. They have to protect it because otherwise they can't grab that water and they can't grow fish, they can't grow food, they can't grow anything in those delta regions, and that's where a huge percentage of our edibles come from. So,
Well, cure for that,
also,
Dan.
even though they raised,
stop eating veg.
well, they raised the Oroville Dam level, as Eddie knows. Oroville Dam was in deep doo-doo a few years ago, and Congress passed a bill allowing for emergency funds so they could raise the level of Oroville Dam just for this very event that is occurring in California right now, where you have rainstorm after rainstorm after rainstorm, where no place to go to put the water.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the mountains are getting all that snow, so wait till that melts.
Am I
That's
that easy to
gonna
see
really
through,
help.
Mid-Ban?
That's going to really help the water table.
Mid-Ban, is it really that easy to figure out where Dan hid the silver, that it's actually in the toilet tank?
Put stuff on your face.
But which one, Dan? That's the one we got to figure out.
Please.
Did you mean Oroville? Yeah, Oroville. So a lot of people don't know they had to have an evacuation of Oroville, which cost tens of millions of dollars when it when they crack developed or whatever happened, the spillway got damaged, and they had to start releasing water. They were afraid that the whole thing was going to come crashing down. And so they basically have retrofitted that antique dam above Oroville. Folks, California has issues. It's got plenty of issues. And reparations, paying reparations to relatives of former slaves is not even on the top of Newsom's list right now.
Newsom's the biggest problem California has.
Yeah. Well, listen, remember we were going to check ourselves once it starts getting a little too deep into the political realm. Okay. I'll tell you what, let's do this, guys. Let's make fun of New Mexico for a little while. How about we do that?
Yeah. Let's make fun of Michelle Grissom. Wow, that governor.
Let's go play around with that idea, you know?
We can play around with New York. I got Holcomb.
I got to tell you, New Mexico is actually a very impressive place.
New York's not, though.
I mean, they have.
Let me tell you guys. Let's talk about something serious here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about this gun violence at these schools. Why in the hell can they not put a guard or 2 or 3 like they do in the Philippines? They got guards everywhere there, and when somebody goes to shoot that thing, well, then you know where they're coming in from. Then you go over there and you stop the threat. Why have we not done this yet in the States? I don't get it.
Arizona,
don't hold back, brother. Don't hold back.
And actually, a lot of Texas schools.
Dan, did you hear about the shooting in Nashville?
Yeah, I was just reading about it. It's horrible, and I'm sure that's what one of the reference points there for Eddie's comment. Well,
they bought the guns legally.
Right.
They didn't have a criminal record, but they were under a psychiatric care, I guess. They were considered transgender. So they can't point to a real conservative because transgenders are not real conservatives. But they can point to that they had 2 assault weapons and a pistol. And they showed they had cameras inside the school that was on the entrances and stuff. And they show because I'm not sure if it's transgender male or transgender female, but they show the person shooting out the windows to get access. The doors were locked.
Right.
Yeah. And why do you put glass windows? Take those doors down. Put some steel doors in there.
Well, like you said, though, if they would have had armed guards, police officers, or whatever, I don't care.
Hired guards.
Yeah. Well, like I said, armed.
Somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody.
And I'm sorry, if they're guards, they got to go through. If they're going to be at the school, I want some specialized training. I don't want somebody like me.
Eddie, I don't know if you know
this training. Look, I've not had that training.
No, you're right. Eddie. They need to have the proper training so they
here in the
can
Philippines.
make the right.
Well, how does it relate? Let's talk about what's going on here, right? Let's talk about what's going on here in the Philippines. I don't know if Eddie knows this or not, but the latest stats are that there are 1,700,000 licensed gun owners in the Philipines.
Yeah, there's gun owners there. Yeah,
and you can get a permit. You can get a permit to a weapons permit to carry, same as you can in the United States.
Yeah, but I don't think a foreigner can. No,
but
a foreigner can't.
You know, we're lucky. We're lucky, right? Aren't we, Eddie? Because all we have to do is get our wives to sign up.
Yeah. That's what I told my wife.
Yeah.
Well,
there'll be no weapons in the house.
And here's the thing, you guys. I'm sorry, but a sign that says no guns allowed is not going to stop a thief. It's going to stop someone like me. It's going to stop someone like me from walking into that place, a law-abiding citizen, and say, well, okay, no guns allowed. Well, I guess I'm not going to go in there because I carry a gun. So I'm not going to break the law, right?
Yeah, or I'll go put my gun in a safe place. Lock it
Correct.
in the trunk.
Correct.
Or something. Yeah. with their
But we definitely need to put security guards in our, put them everywhere for crying. Do you know there's not a security guard in my bank at all? No security guard there no more. In any of these banks anymore, there's no security guard.
I don't know. Did you hear about that
half the
shooting in
banks
Buffalo
closed.
at a Tops grocery store?
No.
Yeah, but you know what, Eddie, at the bank that I bank at in Sacramento, they have they buzz you through the door now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, someone has to recognize you, but they're putting in facial recognition equipment.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, well,
I
I mean,
don't
is that gonna really deter someone from going in and shooting the place up, you think?
Well, I don't know if they probably have to put bulletproof glass up in there or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I want a guy locked in there with a gun and can't get out.
Oh yeah, that's true. That would be challenging.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's got to
By
be
the way,
somebody with guns in
You're
there.
reminding me
Yeah,
that a guy
bank guards usually are armed.
was killed here in Bye City, shot twice. He was a food vendor, a mobile food vendor, and two guys, in helmets and masks just came by and popped two into him.
On a motorcycle.
Killed him deader than a doornail.
Yep.
It was just a vendor, and of course, the press release is saying it was drug related with no additional information provided. It's very interesting.
Tim's right. Tim says gun law will not stop the bad guys.
People have known this guy historically. In the rumor mill, when I go downtown and talk about this at the Dunkin', people just don't want to talk about it.
Oh, hey, Knitban said New Mexico is nice to visit. If you've ever been to Sangre de Cristo Mountains, the most beautiful place, this person mentions it. It's really nice. It's about a mile hike, and there's a lake inside there. And and also when you come to New Mexico, you gotta know if you want red or green. That's the thing when you go to a restaurant. Red or green chili.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic. But I think Knitban, he carefully worded this. New Mexico is nice to visit.
I'm making New Mexico guacamole.
I've been to New Mexico twice.
Knitban, who lives in the high rent district of Sacramento, they don't even have a place in New Mexico that's a high rent district. You have to go to Santa Fe.
Right. Hey, speaking of guacamole, Dan.
Yeah.
Not many Filipinos know about guacamole, do they?
No, I don't think so. And it's such a beautiful thing, But what's showing up in the vendors in the malls is avocado juice, which I thought was interesting. Avocado juice is showing up in the malls.
A Filipino would think
it's because avocados, they grow wild in the Philippines, and they don't have much value, and they view avocados as being poor people food.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
It's a dessert.
Yeah.
Man,
avocado oil, if you get the real stuff, is a really good oil to use rather than the vegetable oil.
Citibank.
So I'm making dinner because my wife is working. She's working. Joyce is working tonight. So I try to make her dinner.
Time you did something
that's lovely. Hey, ladies, if you're out there, pay attention to Eddie. Hey, ladies, if you're out there and you're available, you need to get you a man that cooks.
Are you saying you don't cook, Dan?
I'll admit I'll be the first one to. I'm retired. I'm retired from everything.
Oh my gosh, really?
They service me. I'll tell you what, while I'm even thinking about it, before I even think about it, they show up and they bring me things: Pandasol, coffee, water,
donut,
Emperador.
I've heard a lot about Pandasol lately. What exactly is it?
Bread.
Yeah, bread.
It's their version of Mexican sweet bread.
But I like it with butter. I like it with butter when it's hot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
agree
the
with
only
you,
way to
Randy.
eat anywhere. That's the only way to eat any bread.
Puff says in Scotland guns are banned.
What's that?
So that's if you want a place where the guns are banned, then you move to Scotland.
Oh,
Well,
Scotland.
UK anywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere in the UK they're banned, or at least
What?
you can't carry them.
Wait, what?
Hey,
You talking about guns again?
family in the house. Voyager family.
Yeah.
I need to ask a question about from Voyager family. Voyager family, who I apologize because you've been doing. I apologize for not going into your site. I'm going to be very, very vigilant now and go into your channel to see what's going on occasion. And I meant to do it before this live stream, but I just wanted to thank you very, very much for putting in this effort in channel name. There are a few people that caught my attention in here about all the effort they put into the channel name. Voyager family is definitely one of them. Anime is another. Crystals and Mabel, and I mean, I'm so appreciative that you guys went in and took the time to invest your time coming to the channel and then putting your suggestions for the name, the channel name.
I'm glad you're getting a lot from them because I have no creativity.
Well, Crystals was by far the most creative. So I guess I was going to ask Voyager channel name, Voyager family, who are you? And what's the name of your ninja sites? I'm just curious. Is Voyager family your main channel, or is that your ninja site? I didn't get a chance to go in there and look.
Like lobster was 120 years ago.
In England, you have a license to carry. And let's see.
Well, I'd always heard that you couldn't carry in public. You could have them, but you only take them to the range or something.
Okay, so Voyager family says no problem, Sir Dan. I'm doing a live stream once a month. Okay, so that must be your main channel. Michelle's here.
Oh, hello, Michelle.
Or Puff.
Nice
or
to see
Puff.
you.
This is the first time.
Eileen, nice to see you also.
Or Puff. This is the first time that I've noticed you. Maybe you've been in here before. I apologize for this being the first time noticing you if you've been in here before. Oh, you have been here. Yeah, you have been here. All right. Menge, I was embarrassed because I didn't know that Menge was Mel Tiempo. And of course, you guys know I've met Mel. I met Mel and Anna May. Anna May, we have to talk later. I'm so curious about what's going on in your life. Let's see what Anna May says. He's our father in social media, Sir Dan. Oh, okay. I chose the name Voyagers because my members are Batangala or wanderers, Sir Dan. That makes sense. Farmers mostly have them live. Be looking here also who's on the panel. Huh? Am I getting this right? Farmers.
I guess she's saying farmers also have the guns.
Oh, I see.
Rice is life. When you're married to a Filipino.
Yeah, but it's got the rice that they eat down, they sell here is not the same rice that it's not my grandfather's rice. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, Eddie, I don't know if you know the history of my family name Herrera, but we were strawberry farmers in Mexico. That's where
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's
Herrera means, of course, blacksmith or son of a blacksmith or
So there's Herrera in the Philippines as well.
Yeah. In fact, there's a street name in Manila. They just changed it to the Herrera Bypass or something like that. Herrera Bypass. Something like that. That is right there in Ermita, not too far off of the Baywalk. Right there by the Red Planet Hotel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was just there.
Were you?
Yeah, we were by the Red Planet in Manila.
Hey, can I talk to you a moment about that? Eddie, can I talk to you about that?
Yeah.
The Red Planet. Hey, do you like that place, Eddie? I'm just curious.
I stayed there 4 years ago, and we it was just a quick when I arrived because I had to go to the embassy the next day. I got there at about I think 11 o'clock at night, and so we stayed the night there, and then I got up early, and for what I stayed there, it seemed fine. My wife thought it was okay.
Yeah. So
yeah,
did they have security staff at the door to make sure you belong there?
Yes.
They called upstairs and they said, "Oh, we have Eddie's arriving. Is he on the reservation list?" See, that's kind of what I liked about it. That's kind of what I liked about it.
Yeah, they stand outside. They stand outside even, and
right, they stand outside and then they call upstairs to the second floor. Because if you guys have stayed at a Red Planet, they always have the check-in is always on the second floor,
and they have a special. On your birthday, if you check into that, on your birthday, you could stay with discount.
Wow. Okay. And so the one in Angeles City on Fields Avenue is the same way. You go in there. I don't think it's a Red Planet anymore. I think it's called something else. But you go into the main lobby, and then you go upstairs to the second floor, and that's where you check in.
Okay. Yeah, I really liked it there. Not a problem.
The Voyager family says, yesterday I stand as their father in social media to guide them to the right direction. Okay, maybe I'll be contacting you about some questions that I might have. Maybe once per month, Tim says he eats rice. Rice is life, but rice is causing diabetes in the Philippines.
Right, yes. Rice is a starch, just like potatoes.
Yeah, but
and
I'm not sure if it's the rice or the fast food that's come there. I would say it's probably more the fast food because they've ate rice for generations.
Yes, but the rice has changed.
Oh,
it ain't the same as it was before.
So, folks, let's talk about. I want to talk about. We only have 30 minutes or so left. So I want to talk about a couple more things. Let me switch it up. Filipina P just did a video on artificial intelligence. And one of the reasons why I enjoy watching is the Filipina P is because she's such a deep thinker. And so I started thinking, after watching her video, I encourage you to go in there and watch it and pay attention to what she's saying. A couple things crossed my mind, right? That could be problematic for expats that are planning to move into the Philippines. They could be problematic in the future. And that is that, what if you start going online into the dating websites and then you run across a gal that you fall in love with who later turns out to be an avatar.
An avatar?
Yeah, and let's say that you figure things out and you create your own avatar who starts dating, having an online relationship with the avatar in the dating website. You guys end up getting married. Your avatars end up getting married. You end up having a kid, an avatar kid, and then later come in the mail a notice for child support when the avatar marriage does not work out.
So it doesn't work out. Then what?
Yeah.
Then I guess
It doesn't work out. You have an online divorce. but that child still needs to be supported. And so you get a notice from the Department of Child Services, and then they say your wife has filed for support for your child. And then what would your avatar child? You have to support your child. You get.
I would probably do a DNA test.
Then you'd have to do a DNA test. Yeah, you'd have to do an avatar DNA test or a real one. And what if the Office of Child Support came back and they said, "You are the father"?
Are we on the Maury Povich show?
Yeah, exactly. You are the father. See, so the Filipina piece, she scratches on the surface of all these things that can become very, very problematic in the future. I could totally see this actually happening. I could totally believe it. I totally believe that we're entering into a realm here, these uncharted waters, if you will, of the Philippines or anywhere else, where you could actually fall in love with a person that does not exist and actually produce a child where you end up producing a child that you will have to support until the law says you don't have to support this child any longer.
Thank God I'm already married. That's all I can say.
Marriage has its rewards, doesn't it, Eddie?
Yeah.
Yeah, marriage does come with benefits.
I'm going to tell you something, Dan.
Rewards and challenges.
I thought you were having trouble. I think it's my connection to my sister's internet that I'm having trouble, because there's been quite a few times I see all three of you frozen and I'm not.
Frozen.
So I'm thinking, I'm thinking
guys,
it's my computer, and it just kicked me out.
Larry. Let's mess with Larry. Freeze up.
You notice how I dropped out.
There you go, Eddie.
But you notice how I dropped out, and my computer did that. My internet.
Pizza is here. Pizza.
I didn't touch a thing, and all of a sudden, I was online.
Pizza.
Or Puff was here for a little while. She's been here for a little bit.
So you know what, Dan? Back to that question. I actually was watching Calvin interviewing a man that had a 2-year relationship with, and she ended up finding another. And this is problematic for now that I understand this, especially in places like Dumaguete, where you have a high population of foreigners there. Yeah. The guy said, I was in this relationship with her for 2 years online. Go to find out when I get here, she's got another boyfriend, a new boyfriend who's a foreigner. He says, once I found that out, well, I'm far away, and so I'm pretty much out of the how would you say that? I'm out of the fight right now, because he's not there, and right. So that's something that I never thought about. But I guess people who are single and they plan on going to Dumaguete to go find a girlfriend, even you got to be careful, because very easily she can find another man there when you're over there still far away.
Exactly, Eddie. And people have said that if you go to Dumaguete, first, that's a good reason not to have an online girlfriend, but to actually go there and find it. But someone told me if Dumaguete is the place, then you have to stand in line and take a number in order to get a gal. You have to wait for one of the other expats to dump her off. Pardon that. I apologize to everybody in the chat for using that verbiage. You have to wait till they break up before you and take a number before the next one becomes available. Yeah. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard that several times from different folks.
Yeah. So I that's the first I heard of it. And I thought, I don't think of that because I'm married, right? So it doesn't cross my mind, but I thought about guys that are single. Yeah, that is something that they have to watch out for if they're going to find someone in Dumaguete. Now, there was a guy that I also saw interviewed by, I can't remember who he was interviewed by, But he was very wise because he said, you know what? I had planned. He had planned out his stay there for a month, and he stayed a week here and a week there and a week there, where he heard about these places, and then he said, I'm just going to go stay at these places and see. He's not even looking for a girl yet. You know what I mean? He's basically just finding a home base that he feels comfortable staying, and then finding a girl, which I thought
That,
made a lot of sense.
that,
That was very
yeah,
wise.
that sounds like a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I want to take a moment to announce. Let's see. Well, we got a half hour to go yet, but the winner of Donut and Coffee and Dan for this live stream. Well, it could be Donut and Coffee. I can't be there, but in attendance. But if you want to buy fruit or something healthier, that would be up to you. You're welcome to do that. But the winner of this one is going to be, obviously, it's going to be the Voyager family. And so, Voyager family, I'm not sure I have your Gcash number close by, so you could probably message me or someone else in the comments who's here today can send over your Gcash account number, and I will send off that 100 pesos to you, so you can enjoy coffee and a donut on Dan if you choose to. We're on the cusp. We're entering Holy Week. Oh, by the way, I want to comment on what Nitban just had to say too. Nitban says that in the rural area they still eat rice 3 times a day, but no obesity. That is because they're eating native rice. That's what I think. Native rice
does help.
So different.
But a lot of them, Dan, that does help. But a lot of them are what they call obese thins. They're thin on the outside, but they've got a lot of fat internal.
Right.
And that's actually worse.
Well, the native rice that they grow in the Philippines, where they don't do all the extra processing and they don't put in the all the chemical to make it smell pretty, all the perfumes. I mean, once you get here, you go to the market, you go look and see how they buy rice here at the market, even in the public market, right? They go and they grab a handful of the rice in the barrel. They identify them. They'll have usually 4 or 5 barrels sitting there. And you could buy it by the kilo, but people buy it by the bag, but you still identify what kind of rice you want to buy by its look and its smell. And they'll take it and they'll scoop it up in their hands and they'll be doing this with it. They'll be sniffing it. And I'm like, asking my wife, why are you sniffing the rice? Why do you sniff it? Oh, because you're checking it for the smell. That if it smells good, it's good rice. I go, really? That's how you determine it? Yeah, and we look for the color to see how white the rice is. So they're bleaching the crap out of the stuff and adding perfumes.
Well, I never heard of that. That's pretty crazy.
This is the same thing they're doing in the United States.
Plus, the rice here in the States is all GMO. Nothing like the native rice over there.
Crystal said, Nitban, I eat 5 times and nothing happens. You're doing something wrong, Crystals.
Yep. Hey, Peter.
Oh, I would love my AI girlfriend long time. Listen, Nitban, you stud. Oh, there's Modelo. Hey, they sell Modelo here.
It's too early for you, Dan. It's too early for you, Dan.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. It's never too early when you're retired.
Right for us, though, Eddie.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Hey, Nitban's cracking me up. Okay, Nitban. So, Nitban, what if you could design your own avatar? What attributes would you add to your avatar? No, listen. Damn, I'm killing myself. With all these ridiculous things, But
now, are you talking about an avatar? Are you talking about an avatar or an AI?
Yeah, the avatar. You can design your own avatar and put whatever traits you want. So the thing is, go in. So I know I'm twisted on having these thoughts, but go in, watch the Filipina P, listen to what she has to say. She starts off by talking about, make it difficult for professors in school because they use AI to grade papers, and they're using AI. Students are in order to write the papers, but the teachers, the professors are using AI in order to grade the papers. So how would you
that
do
should be
that?
a wash.
Yeah, it should be a wash, right? I mean, why even bother? Just give everybody an A.
Yeah.
In school, in college in particular, you have academic freedom to do as you choose. You can walk into a classroom and you actually say, okay, how many people in here have their term papers ready to go? Everybody raises their hand. You say, how many did your term paper using that artificial intelligence site? Everybody raised their hands. They said, you all passed with an A. I don't even need to read them. I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to go to the beach with my Modelo and I'm going to hang out because my work is done. 5 times. Oh, well, that's a secret, Crystals, as to why you're so skinny. Why you're so skinny, Crystals, is because you eat small meals 5 times per day. And that means that you're burning it off as you need it. So you're eating as you need the energy, and then you're burning it off. So 5 times a day is the way to do it. We only eat 2 or 3 times a day, and that's going to kill us.
I ate once.
You eat once, and that's the secret. When you start getting older, you don't need those huge calories. You just need to eat 1 time per day.
I don't count calories at all.
Conscious eating, conscious. Every bite that you take, this is what I started doing. You inspired me, Leonard. I take a spoonful of food and I look at it before I eat it, and I say a little affirmation. I am grateful for eating this food. It is so delicious. And then I take a spoonful and then I think to myself, I am now chewing my food. I am now eating. The food is delicious.
You sound like a robot.
Believe it or not, it has slowed down my consumption of food, has lowered my intake of food, and I have reached the first stage of the goal. I'm back down from 207 pounds to 200 pounds.
Oh. And how long the time?
Oh, Man Minnie wants to come in. Man Minnie, I hear Man Minnie in the background. Wait.
Hey,
I have
Minnie,
to figure
how
out.
are you?
I have to. There she is.
Hi.
Hi. Man Minnie.
Hello.
Coffee. Inoma cafe. Let's drink coffee. Inoma cafe.
Salud.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. We've got Modelo. Eddie, I saw Modelo in the store here the other day. I saw it in the store.
How are you, Minnie?
Oh.
I'm fine, thank you. Very good.
Good.
How are you, Sir Leonard?
I'm good, thank you.
And Sir
Like I said,
Larry?
every time Man Minnie comes into the chat, the panel here, the panel improves.
Oh,
Absolutely.
believe me.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, I've told her that I'm gonna have to increase her salary.
Oh, yeah.
For her appearance.
Yeah, more donuts.
Yeah, no, I stopped eating donuts. I don't want to do anything. Listen. I'm gonna admit it here and now. I go into the Dunkin' still every day, but I only drink coffee. I don't.
Dan, hold on, Dan. You don't need a cut back of donut. Just eat the whole. That's cutting back. Eat the whole.
The whole. Yeah, that's the
Cream doesn't have a
Just
hole.
one hole.
That's right.
But the Bavarian cream doesn't have a hole.
Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, you're cutting back the donut to the whole.
Tim says, if a Filipina gets a boyfriend online, what is going to stop them from getting another one? Once you are with her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because she's basically you're training online is training them to have multiple relationships. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, this this online chat is about social commentary, and so it has crossed my mind. I see evil in almost everything that I read and do. I see evil.
That's easy to do.
Evilness is afoot. You know,
That's very easy to
I'm
do.
always looking for the hidden message. The hidden message is they're training them. They're training them to have multiple relationships all at one time, so they have a better opportunity of having of meeting the one that they're supposed to be with. But I think Tim makes a good point. How do you get out of the habit of online relationship dating, or online dating specifically? Once you're in that habit, once the habit is formulated and it's ingrained into your subconscious mind, how do you, once you find the person of your dreams, the one that you're supposed to be with, how do you wind down all the relationships that you were involved with?
For example, to all of them, and
for example, we were
just
doing
say goodbye
somebody
to
asked,
all of them, and you're in a
how
relationship.
did man meeting
Shut
you
down
meet?
your
And I
account.
said, yeah, they had said to me, well, we were in an online chat. It wasn't like this. It wasn't where it was on demand. How it worked, it was called Yahoo something. I'd said it before.
Yahoo Messenger,
chat.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yahoo Messenger. It was Yahoo
Yeah.
Messenger, and that's how you did it. So it's in slow motion. It's not. It wasn't instant message. It wasn't IM at the time. But
Right.
can you imagine?
It was MySpace.
Yeah. Can you imagine how artificial intelligence is going to change all that? You know, it's not going to be only instantaneous, but you could actually have your online date. I mean, you could do it now. I mean, this is the evolution. This is the evolution of AI. I mean, you could be with your loved ones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as though they're in the room, standing right next to you. So that also means that you can date anywhere else that you want to, all over the world, and this is going to create demographic challenges for developing countries and the developing world, because they won't want you to leave. They won't want you to leave for greener pastures. They're going to want to keep you sequestered, and they will start passing laws that restrict your movement around the globe, because they want you to marry somebody here where you're at. They don't want you traveling halfway around the world to meet someone else and then procreate. What would they do? You earned your money in the United States, Eddie. You think they're gonna let you leave so easily?
Hello, Sammy.
They're not going to want you to take your hard-earned money and leave the country and not spend it here in the U.S. of A. I'm behind. Who's here? Who's here in the chat? Who stepped in that I missed?
Sammy came in.
Sammy, thank you for coming, Sammy. You know, I lurk these days in Sammy's channel. I like I say, I'm so busy these days that I only might pop in once or twice. I haven't been in Sammy's in a long time. I do apologize. You know, you'll see me in Sasha's channel once in a while. Pinky Gray's, Daisy Lynn, I haven't been in there in quite a while. I do apologize because
I haven't been on hers for a while either.
Yeah, you guys are so loyal and work so hard to put the numbers out there. Sammy definitely has. She's given all that she's got in order to promote the channel. I'm truly grateful. Cheers.
Yep.
This one's for you, Sammy.
It's coffee time for Sammy.
3 and 1. Here we come.
This one's for you, Sammy.
Yeah, that one's for you. Copico.
I already drunk this one, Sammy.
Copico Black for Sammy.
Yep.
So, have you ever? Now, wait a minute. I don't think Dan has the. Maybe not Dan, because you don't cook. But have you ever had a taquito with corned beef in it?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Very
That's
good.
that's what I'm
You
making.
know,
Not many people know about that corned beef in the
my mom.
taquito.
That's my
Yeah.
mom's. You're reminding me of my mom, the way she used to make taquitos. But
Yep, that's the
how
way my
about
mom did them. My mom made them that way.
how about spam? How about putting spam in there?
Oh, I like spam with cheese fried like a taco.
Yeah.
Man, I've never. That sounds wonderful.
No, it
That
is.
sounds wonderful. You know that corn tortillas and flour tortillas are starting to show up in the frozen food section here in the Metro Mart, but they don't have them in
Um,
stock all the time.
I'm waiting for the corn tortilla. Corn tortilla are hard to find there.
They're hard to find, but you know what? They're tasty. They're
Yeah.
tasty.
Yeah, they
The
are.
flour tortillas, they taste exactly like back home. Not the ones that mom used to make, obviously, but you know how they have the factory machines now that make tortillas? They crank them
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
Yeah.
They taste like that. And I understand that the main tortilla manufacturing plant is right there in Manila.
Really?
Yes.
Dan, we had two more come in. Ma Wilma and Girly Cena.
Ma Wilma, I want to
Oh, hey,
say I
Girly
truly
Cena.
appreciate your efforts in coming
Ma
up.
Wilma,
with
how are
the
you?
family name. Ma Wilma, I really appreciate it. This is Ma Wilma, original Ma Wilma.
Yeah, this is the original, and then Girly Cena.
Sammy is heading for Dumageddon. I don't know if you're taking your motor with you, Sammy, but that's a 3-hour ride through those mountains that Eddie and I were talking about. So I wish you a safe journey.
Where's she at?
In a resort town, in a province town that's going to be a future resort community, about 3 miles up there in the mountains. I can't remember, or not in the mountains, but on the other side of the island. So you have, let's see, the West Coast and the East Coast. And so Sammy today is traveling coast to coast, but I can't remember the town that Sammy is in. And I apologize,
Oh,
Sammy.
okay.
And Sammy says she is taking her motorbike.
And I don't know if Sammy's taking a motorbike, taking a bus, a trike, a bike, or a taxi. But I know Sess is gone. Sess is out of the country, right? So I know that Sammy is probably going to a meet and greet, but I don't think Sess is going to be there because she just posted that she left the country.
Yeah, she's going to Japan, right?
Yeah, bye, Sammy. But Sammy, before you go, what's the name of your province? What's the name of your barangay? Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, Leonard, she went to Japan for a friend's wedding.
Yeah,
yes,
that's what I thought I saw on her. I saw that on one of her Facebook posts.
2-hour journey. And Sammy, another thing, Raina Lynn was saying she has to go to Norway. Otherwise, they're going to cut off the benefits for her kids. So if you guys have ever been into Raina Lynn's channel, she has stuff going on. She's in Dumageddon now.
And she said she's got to go there for 2 years.
Yeah, she has to go for 2 years.
To get their passports all straightened out and everything.
Base Negros Oriental. So Base is going to be, it's going to be on the other coast, and then Dumageddon is on the opposite coast. So Dumageddon would be on the west coast, and if I'm not mistaken, Sammy is on the east coast. So that means traveling 2 hours through the mountains in order to get there, and have a safe journey, Sammy.
Yes, be safe and careful.
Leonard, not in Japan. I don't carry that girl Clee, Dan. Sorry. Yeah, I know. You know, Raina Lynn, she's different. You know what I mean? Raina is she's a dog with different fleas. I don't know, but you know, the whole thing is I still enjoy listening to her. I still enjoy listening to Raina Lynn. She has real life stuff to share.
Yeah,
and
she
so
has a fun channel.
Buddies, yeah, after I saw Raina Lynn thing, her video talking about it, I went down to the Dunkin', talked to two of my buddies from Norway. One of them's a relative, by the way. One of them is John. The other one is Hans. Franz didn't show up that day. But anyway, they were saying that, yeah, that's why people are getting irritated with Norway, is because they keep changing the rules. They keep making it more difficult and more difficult for people living abroad in order to collect their benefits. So Raina Lynn, if I'm not mistaken, she probably qualified for survivor's benefits from her husband who passed away. And they sent her a letter, of course, saying that, you're going to have to spend 2 years in Norway in order to solidify the Norwegian citizenship of your children. And of course, that means that she has to go live in the cold and the snow for a couple of years. And
That's
then
terrible.
it's for her family, for the safety and security of her family, that she has to do that. Of course, John, albeit a relative that comes in sideways, he's a sideway relative who I've known for 15 years. His kids have Norwegian citizenship. Of course, this is way before the rule changes. So he has 3 girls, lovely, intelligent people who I admire. John and his wife have done an absolutely beautiful job raising these kids. I love them all. And they don't have to go to Norway. But you guys must know how valuable and Raina Lynn obviously does, how valuable and important it is to maintain that Norwegian citizenship. It's a must do. It has to be. It has to be, because at any time we can scoop up any one of John's kids and say, John, we're gonna go back to the United States for a visit. We would like to take one of your daughters with us, and boom, they need no visa, they need no special handling of any kind. They're good to go on that Norwegian passport to the US of A, and it is absolutely a godsend. There's no other way to put it. Bye, Sammy. Take care of yourself. Stay safe and healthy. Plus, always try to have fun. Do not get into any motorbike accidents. Remember, if it's between you and a dog, the dog dies. Just remember.
Wear your helmet.
Wear your helmet. If it's between you and the dog is gonna die.
Yep.
I've seen too many accidents where they tried to avoid hitting the animal crossing the road.
Yep.
And all I could say is,
I've run over a half dozen deer.
Frozen time, frozen.
Larry's frozen. Either that or he's faking it.
That was fun. That was heck of fun. Hey, all I could say is, take care of yourself. The lower animal forms, that's okay. No one wants to take the life of a puppy. No one wants to do harm to any animal. But if it's between you and the animal's gonna have to get hit. I mean, that's just the way that I view it. I've never seen a bike rider try to avoid missing an animal, try to avoid hitting an animal unless they had plenty of room in order to do it.
Yeah.
They had plenty of time. But you're coming across the road. If Rover's coming across the road, what does it remind me of, that thing we used to say as kids? Rover. What was it called? That game called Rover?
Red Rover.
Yeah, Red Rover.
Send so-and-so right over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hope you make it, dog. I hope you make it, Rover, to the other side of the. But you'd be surprised how intuitive the animals are around here. Even the chickens, it's almost like they know. They know to look both ways before crossing the street.
Yep.
They know. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, that cow in your picture wouldn't.
Yeah, you see it. You see a dog, they'll look both ways.
You're absolutely right. They know. I was there.
And I've actually seen a dog walk over to the crosswalk. I actually saw a dog walk over to the crosswalk and make his way across the street. I have no idea how they know, but they know.
They watch people. I mean, they watch and they follow people, and it becomes a habit.
Nitban, you get the death sentence if you kill a squirrel, dude. Yeah, no one kills a squirrel.
Want to bet?
So here's what happens. I got to share this story. I think I've shared it before. You guys will enjoy this, right? Minnie. We had lots of trees in the backyard. We had 6, 8, or 10 trees in the backyard. Minnie's first day in Sacramento. She comes out in the backyard. She's surveying the trees, and she sees the squirrels enjoying their time with each other, their families, bouncing around between tree to trees, because we had a black walnut tree and a couple of fruit trees, and they love those. They love being in those fruit trees and the walnut tree. We had an almond tree. We had, so I mean, we got all the stuff that squirrels like. And the first thing Minnie does is she says, "Oh, those are yummy." She said, "Those are yummy." And I said to her, No, Minnie, no.
Hey, Dan, they've been eating squirrels here for years.
Yeah, they don't. Minnie, I
They
think
eat squirrel. Yeah, they eat squirrel.
you cannot go and grab a squirrel off the tree and make squirrel adobo. If anybody sees you do that, they're going
with rice. With rice.
Yeah, they're going to call the police and they're going to turn you in. You're going to have to explain to the cops what you were doing, killing and barbecuing the squirrel. It cannot be done.
You can sure do it
Dan,
here.
it depends on where you're at, because you can do it in Indiana.
Yeah,
And she
you
goes,
do it in
"What?
Texas
You guys
too.
don't eat those here?" She was like, "You don't eat those here?" No. Note to self.
Dan, you're probably
Yeah.
the only one who doesn't.
No, I don't either. I think that's a Mexican thing. We just don't eat bats and squirrels.
No, we don't. We don't eat bats or squirrels. No, you're absolutely right.
No, you,
Now he's not
no,
talking
you,
about
you,
flying
you eat
squirrels.
cow's lungs, cow's eyeballs, cow's
Well,
brains,
guys, you
cow's
know what?
lung.
I've had a fantastic
That's
time.
Jerry.
Eddie, Leonard, and Larry, I
Actually,
really
tongue's
appreciate
pretty
you
good.
guys showing up here. We have so much fun. Knit Band is a hoot in the chat. Always has been, even in Chris and Sabu. Always look forward to Knit Band being there because he cracks me up with his insight, his words of wisdom, and his goofing around, and he delivers the lines like just straight. Like he just delivers them straight. It's time to announce the winner. This was very, very difficult. It's time to announce the winner of the contest. And I think that some people are going to be shocked and surprised. But here's the thing. It's 5K. It's 5K to the winner. But here's what I decided to do. You guys touched my heart. Spending these times coming up with these names, it's not easy to do. When I sit back and I start looking at it, I'm going, man, these folks, they really gave the channel name. They really gave thinking about it. I mean, it's a lot of thought. And so you guys touch me, and we're coming into Holy Week. We're coming into Holy Week. And the Holy Week, for all you people, all you folks that dedicated that time, you deserve to get something from me. And so, and you are. But what it is, I don't know yet. But it probably will come in the form of Gcash for you, because I'm very lazy. And since I have Gcash on my phone, and I loaded it up last night in preparation for what I was about to do, I'm going to thank you by sending out some Gcash to everybody who made a suggestion for a channel name. I just got to do it that way because it touched me. But the winner that I'm announcing right now.
Where's the drum roll?
I should have had a drum roll. I got nothing. I got no drum. I lost it. I have to be careful here because a lot of people offered up similar names. And so I have to be careful because if I do a slip, I will create controversy.
Oh, and we don't want that, Dan. That'll be your new channel.
That's right.
But
also, I'm going to tell you guys, if there
controversy with Dan.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're the winner, Eddie. The winner. Controversy with Dan. So here's the thing. If there are any disputes, everybody's got my my PM. Everybody, if you don't, you just go into the
Oh.
Facebook page. Just go in the Facebook page. Look up Daniel Herrera, Sacramento, California. You're going to see me
No,
up there.
that's not
My
good enough.
face.
We want your phone number. That's not good enough. We want your phone number.
You guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, the winner is. I got to look it up. Listen, I'm. You guys know I'm losing my eyesight. I already shared with you what I came up with. I came up with living large in Leyte. I thought that was hilarious. Living large in Leyte, I thought would have been funny. I also came up with Dan's mini shorts. I thought that was hilarious too. But listen, this is a contest where I think that my name and my wife's name have to be part of the title. It's just the way it is. Because otherwise, how do you know what's going on here? How would you know? So the winning name is Dan and Minnie's Journey. And so now you know who the winner is. The winner is Nicole Hart, 2001. You won, and I haven't seen you in the chat, but you didn't have to be present to win. The winner is Nicole Hart, 2021. I would like for you guys to do me a favor and have Nicole or one of y'all PM Nicole and let her know that she's the winner of 5K today. That's 5K today for selecting the channel name. And for the rest of you who dedicated your time, who offered up your time in coming up with the channel name, well, I got something for you that's going to be headed your way in the Gcash. But I got to tell you, if I don't have your Gcash phone number, you're gonna have to private message me. I want to congratulate again Nicole Hartz, 2001, for coming up with the winner. And you guys in there, do me a favor and let her know. And also send me the PM. But is this Nicole? Is this Nicole instead? Nicole? Is this Nicole Stead? Is this a ninja account for Nicole or a second channel name? Is this a primary name? Oh, it is. It is Nicole instead. Okay. So I have their Gcash account. So I'm going to send that off right away. I'm going to send that off right now as we speak. So you guys can be witness that I sent it off. And then for the rest of you, over the next couple of days, I'm going to be sending you Gcash into your accounts for taking the time to come up to taking your time to invest time and coming up with a name for me. And also, it is Holy Week, and so maybe you can do something nice for your family during Holy Week, where you maybe could not have, you weren't going to be able to do it. You weren't going to be able to have some pandesal for that week. Then I wanted to do something nice. I'll be sending out that Gcash. Okay, so all is done. All is said and done. I appreciate everybody being here today. Eddie, you're fantastic. Really appreciate you being here. Thanks for your time. Leonard and Larry, you guys make this show.
Can you make this your thumbnail? My Taquito Tuesday.
Taquito Tuesday. There you go. Beautiful. Hey, guys, thanks for being here. Larry, if you wouldn't mind, as long as you don't freeze up. If you don't freeze up, take us out of this live stream.
We'll give it a try. Remember, everybody, be nice to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe and healthy. Plus, always try to have fun. Bye.
There you go. Love you guys. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next one.
All right, Dan.